Hey guys, welcome back. Today is Throwback Thursday, and this week we are going to be doing a look using the second runner-up in the poll I had posted on the community tab here on my channel. I gave you guys a voice. I wanted to do some palettes in this series that you picked, as well as palettes that I would like to pick. So this was the second runner-up. It's the Urban Decay Naked palette. We are going to create a look using this today. And if you're interested in any of the other previous lists, I do have a playlist of all of those, and it is linked below in the description box. Welcome if you guys are new. I would love to have you subscribe, and if you would like to follow me on all of my other social media things that I have, such as Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, all of those links are in the description box. So I'm going to start off by priming my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer, which is drugstore, and it's bomb. In case you've forgotten, here is what the Naked palette looks like. Now there are several drugstore dupes for this palette, There's several videos out there on it. I don't have anything else, I'm not aware of it, so we're just going to use the original, but if you don't want to splurge on this, there are other palettes that are similar, or just use the colors from here in any other eyeshadow formula that you have to recreate this look. I always set my eyeshadow primer with some sort of flesh-toned shade, and I want to stay true to just using the palette, and there is not a matte flesh-toned shade in this palette. So I'm going to take my big brush, this is the Real Technique setting brush, and I'm going to lightly go into the shade Virgin here, which is beautiful, and it is not matte. It is like a satinish color, so I'm just going to very lightly do this because I sometimes have trouble blending out Urban Decay's shadows. Sometimes. I always have trouble, and I don't know if it's me, if it's my eyelids. I always use this primer with other shadows and I don't have an issue, so I know it's not the primer. So it might just be the Urban Decay formula. No, it's not going to matter so much because I'm just doing it really lightly. You're not going to see all this light sheen through because we're going to cover up that crease, and I don't care if it's up here anyways because basically we just did our brow bone highlight. I don't know about you guys, but I am really loving this series. I'm loving digging into my collection and re-falling in love, rekindling the flame with some of the products I originally bought years ago. This was the second ever high-end palette that I bought. The first one being the Lorac Pro 1. That was my absolute first palette. That video is going to be next Thursday. That was the third runner-up in the poll. And then I'm going to post another poll. I've already kind of thought of 3 palettes I'm debating between, and I will post that poll sometime next week for you guys to vote, and then I will film the look. So we're going to start off with the lightest matte shade, and that's going to be this shade here called Naked. I'm going to be using a Hakuhodo brush. There's not a name on here. I think this is the J5533. It's kind of like a straighter cut brush, like straight across, very fluffy. These brushes are wonderful. They are handmade brushes. They are natural bristled brush, natural haired, that's the word I'm going for, natural haired bristled brushes. Another reason why I'm loving this series is because it's kind of bringing old school YouTube back, or at least I should say the original YouTube I fell in love with. I fell in love with the YouTube where you were watching people putting on makeup, talking about their lives, sharing stories, why they loved this product. That's what I fell in love with. And I've always been chatty and very open and honest with you guys about myself, life. I've shared several different stories here on YouTube, and in fact, I feel now more than ever I am more vulnerable than I've ever been here, meaning I'm honest. I share things that sometimes can create, you know, like comments that I don't necessarily want back, but I'm just real with you guys. I really keep it that way because I feel like that's, well, I need to be myself. I mean, my integrity is worth more to me than ever having a certain amount of subscribers or becoming YouTube famous. Like, you know, it matters what I say to me. And it should matter to you what you say, because your words matter, you know. Whether you're using your words to lift people up or tear them down, it matters what you say. And so doing this series is really reminding me, you know, you have things that you love, and it gets me excited because it's like you're reminded why you fell in love with something in the first place. Kind of like your first love. I married my first love. But, you know, you can get off. You can get away, like in relationships, you can get away from your first love, and, you know, we go through trials and tribulations and how you deal with things or don't deal with things. And then when you start to deal with that stuff, you like re-fall in love with each other. You re-fall in love with a makeup product. It's interesting. I'm trying to create a parallel here that is a little bit relatable and understandable between relationships and makeup. I'm trying real hard. I hope this is coming across and making sense. It's making sense to me because when you go back to what you originally love, you realize why you fell in love with it and what it is about that product that just kind of makes you excited, you know? That was a big stretch. That was a big stretch. It's so easy to be distracted by all the new flashy things, and you see the word new in a video, and I don't know if this is just me, I have a feeling it's not, but when you see the word new in a video, are you more apt to click on that video and watch it than somebody who's using an older palette and creating a makeup look? Which video are you going to click on? I guarantee you, you're probably going to click on the new video, unless you're kind of at a point where I am, where you have enough stuff and you're kind of overwhelmed by things, and you want the encouragement to use what you have, you know? I mean, if you're not ready to stop buying things, or to, you know, if you're not ready for that, you're not gonna be listening to it, you're not gonna be interested in the video, because that's not where you're at. But you might come to a point where you're just like, you know what, I have enough stuff, I need to like find some videos to watch of things I already own, and you'll be surprised how much you're gonna re-fall in love with what you already have. I'm going to take this MAC 221 brush and dip into the shade Buck here, which is the next obvious shade to go for because it's the only other matte crease shade in this palette, but it will help deepen up the crease a little bit here. I like this MAC 221 brush a lot. It's very small, and I love that it can blend things out, but yet still get into a really deep crease that I have here. I'm going to dip into this Hustle shade right here with a Hakuhodo GSN9. I'm not real sure what I want to create today, so we're just going to stick our brush into the shadow and see what happens. We can kind of go anywhere. You could just do this and then do something light on the lid, or you could do this, do like a gold all over the lid. But I honestly have not dug into these four colors down here very much, so I want to do that today. And another reason I'm loving this, let's see, what side did I just use to put shadow on here? I'm not sure. Another reason I'm loving this series is because it's causing me to not only pick up a palette and create a look using it, obviously, or to pick it up and to use shadow I haven't used in a long time, but it's forcing me, or I should say I'm forcing myself to use colors out of the palette that I A, have never used, B, hardly used, or C, don't really want to use as much, but to use them. Like, you bought the palette, let's see what we can create with it that's different than you've already done, Chelsea. Just kind of stretching yourself. I mean, eyeshadow is a creative outlet, right? And it's fun to see what you can create, but to create new things, you have to try new things, you know? You have to step out of your comfort zone. But I really am finding that life is really fun in that uncomfortable zone. It really can be. It's scary at first, but we're just talking eyeshadow here, to step out and try something new. But I tell you, once you do it, you might surprise yourself. You might be like, you know what, I really liked that, but I would have never done that. So I'm encouraging you to step out of that box. Try something new. Get out of that comfort zone. Because being comfortable is easy. That's the easy thing to do. Also, life's too short. Have a little fun. And if there's anything you can experiment with, it's makeup, because that you can just wash that off. Or painting your nails. Maybe you don't often paint your nails a bright color. Try something new. Go wild and crazy. I'm going to take a Sigma E36. I really like this too. It's smaller than the MAC one. And I'm going to blend that out with a little bit of Toasted this color right here. It's like a really dark, no. It's like a subtle mauve shade right at the edge. I'm going to dip into Sidecar with that same Hakuhodo brush. Now this one's kind of chunky, but I'm just going to push it onto my lid here. Kind of smush down those chunks. That sounds gross. Gonna take a little bit of this creep color, and this is a Sigma E47 crease. I'm letting you know the brushes just because I find it helpful when I'm watching somebody to see what brush they're using with what color. Do you guys like that? I also link everything in the description box too, so it's readily available there for you to look up if you don't own it. I need my lid brighter, so I'm going to go on top of the sidecar with the shade Sin. Oftentimes I'll do that too. I'll start out with one shade and I'm like, you know what, that's not quite bright enough. And I'll just layer on another color. Now this Sin color is really pretty all over the lid. I wore this yesterday. Now I'm just going to take a Q-tip and clean up because there's quite a bit of dark that falls off underneath my eyes here. That is a makeup item I most definitely could not live without, Q-tips. Now we're going to go in and do some eyeliner. I'm going to finish my lower lash line afterwards here. I think today I'm going to go for some brown. I'm going to take Charlotte Tilbury's Barbarella Brown. Just a really nice deep brown that's like really saturated in color. And I'm going to do my upper lash line first. And then I'm going to take some NYX Matte Liquid Eyeliner. I applied some Ardell lashes. Just apply whatever lashes you like. If you don't like to apply lashes, just make sure you put on lots of mascara to get a very voluminous length, whatever it is that you enjoy. I like length and volume, but I really like these they're lightweight Ardell lashes. I think these are either the Demi Wispies or the number 110s I talked about in my March favorites. I don't know because I threw away the package and I store them in a separate container, but they're both very similar. So they give the same effect. Now I do want to do a little bit of something down here on my lower lash line. So I'm going to dip into this gunmetal shade here with a Hakuhodo Z-10 brush. And what I'm going to do is shimmy that at my lower lash line here and blend it out really softly. So it's not like a straight line of shadow. But this gunmetal color, oh, that's gorgeous. There you can see how that gunmetal color, that is pretty. I'm going to dip into Sidecar with this little detail brush from Real Techniques. And that's the original color that we put like right here that I thought was a little bit too dark for all over the lid. But it has a nice taupey quality to it. And I'm going to stick that right here. I'm going to take the Z-10 and dip into this first color that we put into our crease called Naked. And that is going to go right underneath the gunmetal color softly to blend out the edge. Virgin with that detail brush for our inner corner. And then I'm going to take the CoverGirl, the Supersizer Mascara, and put some mascara on these bad boys down here. And just for fun, I'm going to put a little bit of a gold liner in my waterline. It's going to open my eye up a bit because it's a light color. It's going to create more of a rounded effect. This is the Chanel Stylo Waterproof Long Lasting Eyeliner in the shade Amber Door. It is just a gold, nice gold eyeliner. I often have people ask me, how do you put colors together? How do you know what colors go together? Well, first of all, a palette usually is laid out so that things are coordinating. So you can usually do something in a quad. Sometimes they're laid out in a quad. Sometimes it's laid out, you know, so like up and down, those colors are coordinating. But here's another idea as to how I get my color inspiration and how to do my eyeshadow, what lipstick to choose, what blush to choose. I take a lot of inspiration from my outfit, from fabrics, from gee whiz, flower arrangements, just different things around my house that I like how the colors go together. And like for instance, today I love my top, which I'll link it below. It's by Loft. It's a new spring release. Now my eyes, I hate when this happens. My eyelash always comes up in the inner corners because my eyes water. Anyway, so like the color inspiration even for this eye look today with the blues and the golds, and then we're going to do a coral blush here. Well, kind of coral. I'm going to take NARS Orgasm, an oldie but goodie Wayne Goss number 14 brush, and I just mimic, like, this is actually getting kind of old. I should probably focus on using this, but I take color inspiration from my outfit. So today we have the corals in the shirt with the gunmetals and the golds in the eye look, and that pairs perfectly with my shirt. The highlighter I wanted to use today was limited edition, that Estee Lauder Heat Wave. So use that if you have it. I like it a little better because it's lighter than this one, but they're very similar. They're very, very close. But this one is available, and this is the Baked Gelato Swirl from Laura Geller in the shade Gilded Honey. Now, typically, I would not go this dark with a highlighter unless I'm tan, because this gold color can sometimes show up a little too gold on my cheeks and kind of color them instead of elevate, you know, like lift the cheeks. But I really like the color of this highlighter mixed with the NARS Orgasm. Now, the NARS Orgasm already has some of a sheen, you know, a little bit of a sheen to it. I just got that a little bit too far down. I like to be careful not to bring my highlighter too far into this area right here because I do have pores. But I think it'll be okay. I'm going to line my lips with the Prestige lip liner in the shade Poppy. This is an super inexpensive drugstore lip liner, but it is so good, and it is a very good coral lip liner. It's the only one that I ever use when I do any of my coral lips because I just love the color. And it's so creamy and pigmented. It's a pencil too, so usually pencils can be kind of dry and stiff and get icky after so long. I've had this for years. It's still just as good. And we're going with one of my favorite corals, the Estee Lauder Envy line. This is Defiant Coral. That is bright. That is bright. We're going to put a little sparkle on top because that's how I am. MAC Dazzle Glass in the shade Smile. A little bit of sparkle in there. So this is the finished look. I think that the lip kind of makes the look if you were to ask me, but I am a fan of really bold lips. I just think it looks beautiful on a woman. I think you could skip all this and just do a bold lip with some mascara and you look just fresh and just stunning. But I look forward to chatting with you guys next Thursday for my next throwback video. If you enjoyed yourself today, give this video a huge thumbs up. I am loving this series. Let me know down below if you are too. I hope you guys have a fabulous, blessed day, and we will chat very soon. Bye, guys.